So a question that I often hear or see a lot of is, I don't know what to do with my life. So if you really don't know what you want to do with your life, then why not try anything? Although younger people tend to be at more of an advantage when it comes to trying out different paths or careers, it still is really never too late in life for somebody to start taking steps in a new direction. Now, the most obvious questions that you can start with if you don't know what you want to do with your life are, what do you really want? And what is it that interests you? There are more ways than ever these days with the internet to make a living and to contribute something of value to society. Even if you feel like you are disconnected from motivation or from a clear sense of purpose, there still must be something or some things that hold even a modest degree of excitement for you when you start thinking about doing them. And by the way, it's absolutely all right to try things and realize that they're not a good fit or that you just don't like doing them. Think about the alternative, which is basically just to continue staying stuck in that same familiar state of maybe comfort but discontent, and never allowing yourself the opportunity to try something different, something that may actually be a lot better than you ever could have imagined. So if you're feeling lost or like you just don't know what to do with your life, then it's really most helpful to do some introspection and look at the kind of beliefs or ideas that would actually be holding you back from being willing to choose a new direction in life. There are so many different possibilities when it comes to like limiting beliefs or ideas that you might have accepted from other people, but here are just a few. Maybe one or more of these will resonate with you. Number one, do you actually just feel unworthy or undeserving of what life would be like if you were to achieve some goal that you set out to achieve? Have you somehow been convinced that it's morally or ethically wrong to pursue a certain course of action and get what you want? Do you believe that when it comes to your own life, you don't know best and actually that other people know better than you about what it is that you should be doing? Or do you just generally believe that life is pointless and it's not worth striving for anything because in general you just have some kind of disdain or contempt for humanity as a whole? All right, that last one was a little strong, but these are all just ideas that are worth considering. You really just have to be honest with yourself when you think about the kinds of beliefs that you are holding in your mind, because they are really going to heavily influence the kinds of decisions that you will make in life. Assuming that you actually do want more out of life and believe that your goals are worth striving for, then you really just need to figure out what is exactly stopping you from taking action. Maybe you think any number of things like, I'm too old, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough time or money, etc., etc. See, none of these things usually tend to actually be true in and of themselves. It's more just that we use them as excuses to disallow ourselves from getting started on something. I mean, let's face it, we humans tend to be creatures of habit, and stepping out into unfamiliar territory of any kind can bring up all kinds of fear and insecurity and doubts and just generally put a knot in our stomachs. But basically, when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of discomfort and having to change, that is the day that you will really be more willing to start the journey towards a brighter future. And, it's important to keep in mind that really the whole purpose of life, I believe, is just to continually evolve and grow. Do you really want to stay stuck in the same familiar situations day after day, year after year, until the point where it becomes unbearable, all the while knowing that years ago, you could have started taking action on something that you think you would have been good at, or that would have been much more fulfilling than the path that you continue to go down? That may sound kind of harsh, but it is important that you hear it. Although making a big life change can be very scary and uncertain, there is a certain thrill that will accompany it once you just have the courage to get started. I think the real reason for that goes back to the point I made before, which is that the purpose of life is really that we all have this innate desire to evolve and to grow and become more. So actually, when you think about it, it's really not about the destination that we're trying to get to at all. It really is about the journey. See, the real excitement in life is actually just in working towards something better. It is the enjoyment of the journey and the process itself. We all have to determine our individual tolerances for risk and uncertainty, but why deny yourself the opportunity to embark upon a new path that could really end up being quite a thrilling adventure? You could go back to school, you could attempt to change careers, you could start a business or side project, you could take up a new hobby or get involved in some kind of group or anything like that. There's so many possibilities. But essentially, the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to decide how badly it is that you really want to change. Nobody is obviously going to force you to go down some path in life that you really don't want to pursue. But if you're tired of the same old situations in life that are uninspiring and don't fulfill you, then it would really be advisable to start thinking about certain changes that you could make that you believe would get you to a better place. My advice is to really start taking an honest look at the excuses that you're using which prevent you from getting started, and to start to honestly think about whether or not they're necessarily even valid or true. You know, not to sound too cliche, but in this world where there is a will, there is a way. And you need to trust that so that you can get what you need to be able to move forward. So that's it for this one, but I hope you have found this helpful and thought-provoking. And especially if you're a younger person, then I would definitely say, don't worry about making the wrong choices when it comes to trying out different careers or different lines of work. All experience can be good experience if you choose to look at it that way. And even work situations that you were not thrilled with can help you to learn a great deal about yourself and the kinds of things that you would actually prefer to do with your life. So obviously there's a lot that can be said about this topic, but that's where I'm going to end it for today. Please give this video a like if you have found this helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Definitely be sure to leave me a comment too and let me know what you think about anything that I've said here today, or if you have any questions about the points that I've raised. Lastly, I just want to let you all know that I do offer hypnosis and coaching services to people who feel lost or stuck in life and are looking for a way to connect with their inner source of motivation and enthusiasm for finding a better way forward. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link in the description of this video to book a free strategy call with me to see more about how I can help you. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.